So the liver is the major organ that is responsible for the synthesis of cholesterol. We actually don't really absorb too much of our dietary cholesterol to make a significant impact on our cholesterol levels. We actually synthesize most of our cholesterol internally, primarily by the liver. Now, most other cells are able to synthesize their own cholesterol. However, it is the liver that produces a majority of the cholesterol for us. Okay, so up here I've gone and went through a basic nuts and bolts synthesis of cholesterol. So on the top left here, we can start with either protein, carbs, or fat as our starting material to synthesize cholesterol. So protein, carbs, and fat can be broken down into acetyl-CoA. Now, acetyl-CoA is one of the major starting materials for a lot of different molecules that we make internally, including cholesterol. Now, CoA is short for coenzyme A, and that is made by pantothenic acid or vitamin B5. So contrary to my belief until I started researching how the synthesis of cholesterol, I assumed that statins lowered your dietary cholesterol. That is not true. Statins actually interfere in the process of us making our own cholesterol. And it's this step here where statins target their action. And it's this enzyme here, HMG coenzyme A reductase, that statins target to prevent us from making our own cholesterol, to help us manage our own cholesterol levels. So again, statins actually prevent us from making our own cholesterol. They have nothing to do with lowering our dietary cholesterol. That's pretty much why I have this reaction on the board. Okay, so after acetyl-CoA is converted, passes the HMG coenzyme A reductase step, it then enters a 5-step process to yield lanosterol. Now, within this 5-step process, the body makes a few other critical molecules, and one of them being CoQ10. So if you're on statins, your doctor might suggest that you take a CoQ10 supplement because it's also interfering with you being able to synthesize your own CoQ10. And CoQ10, with one of the intermediate steps in this process, also requires riboflavin to be synthesized, which is vitamin B2. Okay, so after this 5-step reaction, again, we get lanosterol. And then from lanosterol, we go through a 19-step reaction, and each step requires niacin and oxygen. Again, this is a 19-step reaction from lanosterol to cholesterol, our final product, and each step requires niacin and oxygen to carry forward. So you're going to need niacin, riboflavin, pantothenic acid, and oxygen. Those are just the vitamins that I've highlighted here. You do need more for this whole process, but these are the ones that stood out to me. Anyways, after this 19-step reaction, we finally get our cholesterol. And again, this happens in the liver. And then from here, the liver can either use the cholesterol it makes to make more bile, or it can be exported into the bloodstream. So cholesterol is insoluble in blood, so it gets carried through the bloodstream through a large lipoprotein complex called very low density lipoproteins. So it's these very low density lipoproteins that carry cholesterol through the bloodstream for us. So when cholesterol finally enters another cell, it is liberated from these very low density lipoproteins with the use of an enzyme called lipase. And lipase is synthesized in the pancreas. So other than making bile salts, cholesterol is critical for making a lot of other hormones as well. Well, I wouldn't consider bile a hormone, but Anyway, so cholesterol is also used to make up our cell membranes. About 30% of our cell membranes are actually cholesterol. And most of the cholesterol in our bodies is found in our brain and our central nervous system. Cholesterol is also used to make glucocorticoids, and cortisol is a glucocorticoid, as well as mineral corticoids. Androgens, and testosterone is an androgen. Estrogens, which is estradiol, vitamin D, progesterones, and unfortunately, gallstones are mostly made up of cholesterol that has precipitated out of bile. So gallstones are mostly actually cholesterol. And we also use cholesterol to make bile salts. Okay, so that's just a really, that's a snapshot of how we synthesize cholesterol and how we move it through the bloodstream.